Hello and welcome. Today we will discuss about the surface. What is the surface in Civil 3D and why we are using and what is the purpose of surface? Different type of options we will discuss during this tutorial. A surface definition is a collection of a surface build data and added properties as well as list of the operation that you have performed on the surface. The type of definition data items that a surface can have depend on the surface type. So if we go to the main ribbon, we can see from here surface also. We can also see the surface option from here. If we right click on this, then we can see different type of option from here. If we click on the surface, then we can see different type of option. Number first is create surface. We can create our surface from here. And secondly, we can create surface from DEM, digital elevation model. And from here we can see create surface from point cloud. We can also create from here. We will learn about also in this tutorial create surface from theme, create surface from GIS data, create surface from grading, create surface from corridor. So different type of surface you can create, and from this different object you can create from points, you can create from polyline, you can create from feeder line. So you can use as per your requirement which data you have. So here generally we will know how we can create our surface. We will click on this surface. Once we click on the surface, this toolbox will open, and from here we can increase or decrease the size of toolbox. So we can see it from here. The first of all, here we can see the type, which type of surface we are going to create. First of all is thin surface, then grid surface, grid volume surface, thin volume surface. So we can select from here. So generally when we are going to create for the very first time the surface, we can just select the thin surface, and here you can see that you can select the layer in which layer you are going to create your surface. So the default layer is C topo. If you want to change, you can click on this layer button. From here you can select any kind of layer, or you can create a new layer from here of these options. So you can also create, you can change the property for the layer, you can change the color from here. Different type of option you can just select it from here if you want to create a new layer. So we will keep it on default as per your requirement. You can change the layer if you want to change. So the second is the information option, the property. From here you can provide a surface name whichever you want. You can provide the surface name. For example, if we are going to give the name here existing ground, if you double click on this you can delete it, and existing. Here is the description. You want to change the description, you can change it. And here is the style. You can change also the style from here. If you click on this style, you can see here of the small arrow. If you click on this small arrow here, you will see different type. Here you can see the border only. If you need a border of the surface, you can select this type. And here is the contour 1 meter and 5 meter background, and the next is contour 1 meter and 5 meter. What is the 1 meter and 5 meter? It's mean that the minor contour will be created on 1 meter and the major will be on 5 meter design. The contour 2 meter and 10 meter, the minor will be on 2 meter and the major will be on 10 meter. So here is the same background and design. This is the both is same. Most probably they both are same. Contour 5 meter and 25 meter. If you have a big and huge area, you can use the interval for 5 meter and 25 meter. So the measure between the minor to contour, the distance will be 5 meter, and the major contour distance between two contours will be 25 meter. Okay, and here is the contour and triangulation. Triangles, you can just select this option. Cut fill banding 0.5 interval 2D, and elevation banding 1 meter interval, elevation banding 10 meter interval 2D, slope banding. So this all type you can just select it from here. And there here you can see this a small pencil. You can see this is the edit option. Whenever you see, it's mean that you can edit the style or surface whatever you open. So this is in Civil 3D you can use for the edit purpose. So click on this, double click. Once you double click on this, for the very first option, you can see here we had different type of option. We can see number one is information, border, contours, grid, points, triangles, watershed, analysis, display, and summary. So first of all, if you go to the information, if you want to create your own style, you can just edit from here and you can create your own style for the surface. So here you can provide the name for the surface style. If, for example, I am going to create here contour. Let me select first of all from here 1 meter and 5 meter design. Now I will edit this one. So select here 1 meter and 5 meter. You can give name 2023. So here is the description. If you want to create a description, you can just create it by Autodesk. This is the date, last modify. You can see this. Here is the border. If you want to do some changing in the border, you can just change it. Use surface elevation, border type true, display border true, interior border true, datum true. We don't need to change any of this. And here is the contour option, which is the most important option for the surface. If you go to the contour range, you can see the contour range from here. Here we don't need to change anything. Here is the 3D geometry. You can see here use the surface elevation as same as it is a border. And here is the legend. So you can see here the legend style, which legend style you want to create. So later you can also create your own legend style. And here is the contour interval. So it is the most important, which we see here 1 meter and 5 meter, the same as it is here. If you here check here the contours 1 meter and 5 meter, here is the minor is 1 meter and the major is 5 meter. If you want to change this to 2 meter, the second will be changed automatically. If you click or press enter, you can see that it's changed automatically. If you enter this one 0.5, this will change automatically 2.5. It's mean that this is changing the minor one and the major one is changing automatically. So let's keep it 0.5 as per your requirement. For example, if you have a small area and you are not getting and the elevation is not changing very much, you can use a small interval. If the area is very large and the elevation is changing a lot, then you can use a 5 meter, 6 meter, 10 meter interval as per your requirement. You can use. Usually and mostly the client is asking you the requirement for the contours, then you can follow the same as it is. And the next is a very most important. You can see this is the depression. You can change it if you want, but we don't need to change. This one is the contour smoothing. What is the contour smoothing? When we draw the contours, we can see that we have some the contours corner is not rounded, it's like sharp. So for this one, if we need the contours corner or the circular contours should to be rounded, so for this purpose we need contour smoothing. We will do it everything practically. From here, first of all, if you want to change the smoothing, you can just select the true from here first of all, and now you can see that you can change the contour smoothing from here. Okay, this option, but make sure once you change this contours smoothing from here, if this one is false, you cannot change this option. If this one you make to true, then you can able to move this one contour smoothing. For example, if this is a false and you are trying to move it, it will not move. If you make it true, then you are able to change it from here very easily. Okay, and here is the some other option. You can see you can change the coloring from here. You can also change from here the lines type if you want to change. If you check here line weight, how much line weight you need for the contour, you can also change it from here. Here is the major display and here is the minor display. Okay, for the major display you can change this, and for the minor display you can change this. Let me zoom. This is the major display setting. Okay, here is the line type. You can see here is the line type. Okay, and here you can see the line weight. Okay, and here you can see the line color. So this is for the major display and here is the minor display. Okay, so here is the line type, here is the line weight, how much weight you want for the line, and here is the line color. So we have two lines, major and minor. So both settings you can just easily change from here. If you want normal line, this is the solid line you can use. If you need dotted line, you can use dotted line. If you want to load any other line, you can just click on load line. Here is a lot of line, you can load it from here whatever you want. You can easily load any type of line from here. and it will be display in this box once you load it. So for the requirement you can change from here, or also when you create a property contours, then later you can change it easily. So the next is the grid option. Here is the grid. If you want to show grids on your drawing or on your contours, you can show it here. Here is the primary grid, true 25 meter, it will give north, and the another is secondary. You can see that it is 25 meter. If you want to change these to 30 meter, you can change it to 30 meter. So now when you're going to draw a grid, it will be spacing of 30 30, the box will be 30 by 30. If you want to make it to 5 to 5, you can make it to 5 to 5 as per your requirement. You can just create it. Okay, and the next is the point. You can see here is the point style, point layer, point display. You can see you can change the layer color from here, deliver point, their points, you can all setting you can change as per your requirement. And here is the triangles option. Okay, we don't need to change it. And here is the watershed. Watershed you can see for the surface here, watershed it, you can just click here the watershed, and from here you can do any kind of editing. You can see here you can change the color from here, other some text height if you want to change, you can easily change it from here very easily. If you go to the legend, from the legend you can just click here, and also you can click on this edit button and you can change all the property from here. You can see that a legend you can add. If you want to add any, you can add. If you want to delete, you can delete it from here. And here is the display for the colors, and here is the summary. And also you can see here the depression. If you want to change the coloring from here, you can easily change from here. Okay, draw drain tangent segment line type, you can change easily from here. Here is a flat area, here is the multiple drain. You can just change as per your requirement this color and this second for the depression colors. You can just change it from here. So all these option and all this detail we will also explain in upcoming videos, but this is for the journal review for and for the information. Here is the analysis. You can see here the slope direction analysis, you will see here, and the slope elevation analysis, you will see here all these details. And here is the slope arrows. Here you can use the slope arrows, number of range, number of precision, arrow type, field, which kind of arrow you need, you can just select the arrow type from here. Arrow length, how much arrow length do you need, you can change the arrow length for the slope. Legend style, and here is the slope arrow display mode, you can see it from here. And here is the display, you can see it here. Point, for the point which color do you want to use, it should be visible or not visible. Triangle colors, border colors, major contour color, you can see for the major contour color is this. If you want to change for the major contour, this one. And for the minor, if you are going to use this magenta or blue color, you can use it any color as per your requirement. User contours, graded, direction, elevation, slope arrows, water shaded, you can use all these settings from here. So this is the general review about the surface. Later in upcoming tutorial we will just discuss with practical example and real world project with very details. Hope this is helpful. We will see in the next tutorial. Goodbye and